Hi guys, welcome to my channel on Linux. For those of you who are new to Linux, Linux is an alternative operating system on the desktop to Apple Macintosh and Microsoft Windows. It's not as well known as the other two, and it's free. The reason why I created this channel is because I wanted people to be aware that Linux is just as versatile as the other two operating systems, and just about any task you can do with Windows and Mac you can do on Linux too. So with that in mind, I'm going to be covering the following topics: viewing videos, movies, and free TV, editing videos, movies, pictures, and sound files, listening to music, playing Linux and Windows games on Linux, using different Linux distributions. There are at least 50 different Linux distributions, but on this channel I'm going to be covering the two I'm most familiar with. That is Ubuntu and Linux Mint, and they're both really easy distributions for Windows users to transition to. I might later on cover some other distributions. Next thing I'm going to cover is transferring files between Android devices and the Linux operating system, doing some basic navigational tasks in Linux, doing downloads, installs, and reviews of some cool free apps you can get on Linux, using some unique Linux features like workspaces, and you can't find this on Mac or Windows, checking out emerging Linux technologies. Last but not least, revising documents in Linux, including Microsoft Office files, and we know how important that is for Microsoft Office users. So now that I showed you the various topics I'm covering about Linux on this channel, you're wondering, well, why should I use Linux over Mac and Windows? Well, here are some good reasons why. Number one, it's free. All open source software is free. Because open source software is developed under a license that legally binds developers who use it for development to release their own modified software to the public, well, that benefits all of us consumers. Number two, you can do any task that the Mac or Windows operating system can do with Linux. Number three, you don't have any virus problems with Linux. Number four, you don't even have to defrag Linux. Number five, you can use it on older hardware, and that hardware will last longer. That has to do with the fact that Linux is like a modular type of software, sort of like IKEA furniture, where you can mix and match different furniture to make a whole unit. Well, you can do the same thing with Linux programs, and that takes a very experienced system administrator or Linux developer to be able to do that for you. And because of that modular structure and the fact that they share the same kernel core set of programs with Android, Linux and Android can talk to each other on the same device, which is why you can install a Linux operating system on any Android device, or you can use it with a dual boot situation. I will cover that in more detail if you're wondering about that. Another good reason why you want to use Linux is over time Linux developers have developed tons and tons of free apps for Linux, and you don't even have to buy Microsoft Office because you've got LibreOffice, and it's a more than adequate replacement for Microsoft Office. And another important reason why you can use Linux is you can run a lot of Windows applications using the Wine software on Linux. So there you go. All these good reasons why you should be using Linux. So to find out more about Linux, stay tuned on my channel for more videos, and check out my website,